A 30-second phone video has shoved Britain's royal family into its worst spotlight in decades, and it all looks oddly homemade. In the clip, Meghan Markle wears a tight black dress and sways her hips next to Prince Harry, while a rap song about baby mamas booms in the background. Her belly looks almost perfectly round, not the softer, lower bump most women show late in pregnancy. People might have laughed it off as an awkward memory, yet the bump seems to break basic rules of biology. The video hit TikTok at 11:37 p.m. in London, and by sunrise, the hashtag #BumpGate was trending from Toronto to Tokyo. Viewers paused every frame, zoomed in on the dress, and asked the blunt question, was she really pregnant? Big news outlets had always brushed off that idea as an online myth, but not this time. Piers sent the clip to 8 million followers with one sharp line, and TV host Jeremy Kyle compared the dance to a lap dancing club for expectant mothers. Once the views passed 10 million, an old online rumor about moon bumps, folding bellies, and hidden surrogates roared back to life. The stakes are huge. British law says royal children must be born from the body of the royal parent to keep their place in the line of succession. If Meghan's bump was fake and a surrogate carried Archie or Lilibet, the monarchy faces a legal mess. In one sleepless night, the family story flipped from polished fairy tale to show us the proof. How did half a minute of shaky footage push centuries of royal rules toward crisis? To find out, we need to trace the video's path from a small Instagram post to the front pages of the world. The clip first appeared on the throwaway Instagram reel with a laughing crying emoji and the words "baby mama vibes." In under 5 minutes, likes and shares jumped so quickly that software used by London tabloids flagged it as going viral. 15 minutes later, a Brazilian K-pop fan page reposted it, giving the reel a huge new crowd that cared little about royals but loved drama. Instagram's algorithm noticed the sudden spread and pushed the clip onto explore pages everywhere. By midnight, hashtag #MoonBump and BumpGate were trending side by side on Twitter. Blue check users joined the pile-on. One well-known activist asked, "Is anyone else looking twice at that perfectly round belly?" The real explosion came at 2:04 a.m. when Piers fired off a joke about an upcoming S-tape, forcing big media houses to pay attention. By breakfast time, Jeremy Kyle was replaying the dance in slow motion on live TV, calling it disgusting. In 4 hours, mom bloggers, meme makers, royal fans, and people who usually scroll in silence all shared the same 30-second drama. The numbers told the story. 15 million combined views before most palace staff even clocked in. Google searches for Meghan fake bump, royal succession rules, and UK surrogacy law beat every political headline of the morning. By 9 a.m., editors faced a choice: ignore the frenzy and look out of touch, or cover it and risk lawsuits. The Guardian picked a careful explainer. The Daily Mail plastered screenshots everywhere. Vogue tried a think piece on body politics. No matter the spin, one fact remained. A tiny reel had grabbed the world's attention, all circling one question traditional outlets had dodged since 2019. Was Meghan's pregnancy real or staged? The reel was no longer light entertainment. It had turned into an editorial landmine. Long before TikTok, whispers about Meghan's pregnancies floated in small online corners. In late 2018, a video showed her stomach folding oddly when she sat down at a charity show. Some Reddit users called it an accordion belly, while others hunted Amazon links for silicone moon bumps that expectant adoptive parents sometimes wear. Mainstream reporters stayed away, worried about body shaming and lawsuits. Editors kept saying, "Clothes wrinkle, cameras distort, let it go." Even so, lawyers inside newsrooms drafted secret notes. They knew royal rules say heirs must be born of the body. If a surrogate carries the child, the crown must be told, no exceptions. Those legal memos went nowhere and gathered dust. After all, Archie's christening looked normal, and Lilibet's US birth certificate seemed fine. Still, every photo of Meghan's bump was picked apart. Sometimes it sat high, sometimes low, sometimes the shape looked too perfect. The talk never died. It just waited for a spark big enough to break into the open. That spark was the twerking video. Overnight, old forum posts shot back to the top of Google. YouTubers who once tiptoed now spoke freely, replaying clips where Meghan's belly appeared to deflate when she rose from a chair. The once mocked moon bump theory suddenly sounded less mild. Editors who had laughed in 2019 now admitted privately that the new footage changed the game. Professional opinions soon replaced memes. Dr. Alana Reyes, a retired obstetrician, posted a long thread. Late-term mothers usually lean back and avoid deep squats because their center of gravity moves forward. Yet Meghan dropped low and sprang up like a fitness coach. Very unusual, Dr. Reyes wrote. A neonatal nurse in Toronto pointed out missing medical gear, no fetal monitor belt, IV lines taped the wrong way, and a bed that looked like a movie prop. She said, "Either this is a luxury suite I've never seen, or it's staged." BBC Radio brought on Dr. Priya Nair, who reminded listeners that some pregnancies look different and private hospitals do things their own way. Uncommon isn't impossible, she said, but she agreed the bump looked stiff when Meghan moved. Midwives on TikTok added their take. They showed how fabric should hang on a real bump. Gravity pulls it slightly down. Meghan's dress, they said, clung like plastic. None of these experts called it fake outright, but their comments poked holes in the idea that the clip was normal. The talk shifted from, could Meghan fake a pregnancy, to what are the odds two pregnancies both look so strange? The hashtag #DrWitness collected short medical videos, pulling in millions of views. For many, expert language turned vague suspicion into serious doubt. And once medical voices raised eyebrows, talk of royal rules became impossible to ignore. Royal succession sounds simple. The oldest child of the monarch takes the throne. Yet deep inside the rules sits one line most people never notice. The heir must be born of the body of the royal parent. The rule dates back to times when nobles swapped babies to steal power. It still stands today. Using a surrogate is legal in Britain, but if a royal does it, the family must announce it and file papers with the Privy Council. Hiding a surrogate could strip the child of titles. That rule is the TNT behind Bumpgate. If Meghan used a surrogate but acted pregnant, Archie and Lilibet, 7th and 8th in line, could lose their spots. It would also throw big questions on regency plans, church vows, and even deals with Commonwealth nations. Parliament has no guide on how to fix the line if a birth turns out false. The last rumor of this scale hit in the 1800s, and lawmakers buried it fast. Today's MPs would face public calls to modernize rules or cut old ties, changes that could weaken the crown. This explains palace silence. Even a hint of doubt could force an investigation. Yet silence costs trust. Scholars on TV discuss possible probes, private DNA tests, outside doctors checking records, or a clear statement from Harry and Meghan. None is easy. DNA feels invasive, medical access needs the couple's okay, and any statement without proof will face new doubt. The monarchy now balances legal duty against public faith. What started as social media noise could drag dusty laws into bright LED light. Royal family's usual plan in a scandal is simple: say nothing, wait it out, then carry on. That tactic fails in the age of 8-second TikTok loops. After the video blew up, big newspapers feared two things: lawsuits and lost clicks. The Times wrote a cautious piece in the lifestyle section, hiding the succession issue near the end. The Washington Post called it a privacy debate, skipping the medical angle. Sky News Australia, where many people want to cut ties with the crown, aired a guest who called the clip a gift to Republicans. Off-record, palace aides fed mixed messages. The Daily Mail quoted one source saying King Charles was very upset. The Telegraph said Prince William called the video a disgrace to Mum's memory. None of it was on the record, but every quote fed online algorithms. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan stayed silent. No lawsuit threat, no statement, not even an Instagram post. That empty space filled with louder rumors. Palace staff worried that any denial would mean sharing private medical files, yet saying nothing made people assume the worst. US media faced its own trap. Challenging a pregnancy claim can look sexist, but ignoring a possible constitutional crisis looks weak. By day 3, even friendly CNN hosts said the palace had to speak up. Silence now felt like hiding. As fan edits of the clip flooded TikTok's For You page, the royal dignity strategy seemed as old-fashioned as a horse-drawn carriage. Why share such a risky video? Some believe it was a PR gamble. The Sussexes lost their Spotify deal, and Netflix interest cooled. A viral storm, good or bad, puts them back in the spotlight and can help future deals. Others think it was distraction. Harry's phone hacking lawsuit nears a key hearing. Flooding the news with bump drama might shrink coverage of court evidence. A third idea is habit. Ex-staff say Meghan treats content like data. In the end, the Meghan-Harry delivery room clip is less about maternity physics than about the credibility of a centuries-old brand. When experts, lawyers, marketers, and Republicans all pour over the same 30 seconds, you know the crown's protective fog has thinned. Every day without concrete answers, medical records, a sworn statement, or an independent review stretches that gap between image and evidence. If the bump was genuine and the video just tone-deaf, transparency could cauterize the wound and let everyone move on. If a surrogate really carried Archie or Lilibet, silence merely delays a constitutional reckoning that will be nastier later. And if the palace keeps relying on the old rulebook, dignified distance, coy leaks, no comment, it risks letting TikTok, tabloids, and petition sites dictate the narrative. Monarchy survives by convincing people its rituals still matter. Trust is its invisible scepter. Right now, that scepter is wobbling with every new hashtag, market dip, and late-night comedy punchline. Hashtag Bumpgate has therefore become a ticking test. Either Britain's royals adapt to a world where proof beats pageantry, or they watch belief evaporate selfie by selfie. History won't remember the hashtags, but it will remember whether the palace chose sunlight or shadows when the moment arrived.